Functions f, g, and h are defined as follows. F of x is equal to 3 plus x squared, g of x is equal to 4 plus x, and h of x is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 2. Calculate the value of f of negative 5. Now, what do we know? Well, we know that f of x is equal to 3 plus x squared. Now, but we have to figure out what is f of negative 5. Now, what that means is that we have to, wherever we see x, we have to put negative 5. And so negative 5 goes here because x is here. And negative 5 goes here because x is here. And so we have f of a negative 5, which is equal to 3 plus negative 5 squared. Now, what is negative 5 squared? Well, negative 5 squared is 25. So f of negative 5 is equal to 3 plus 25. And 3 plus 25 is 28. So f of negative 5 is equal to 28. Next, we have to figure out, or we have to calculate the value of g of h of negative 5. And so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to figure out, okay, well, notice that we have two functions, right? G is the parent function, h is the baby function. So we have to take h of negative 1 and we have to put it inside of g. And so we know that h of x is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 2. That's what h of x is. But we need to first figure out what is h of a negative 5. Now, h of a negative 5, that means that wherever we see x, we're going to put negative 5. So we put negative 5 here. And here we have x, so we put negative 5. And so we have h of a negative 5 is equal to 3 times negative 5 minus 1 all over 2. Now, what is 3 times negative 5 minus 1? Well, that gives us minus 16. So we have a negative 16 all over 2. And negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. So that means that h of negative 5 is equal to negative 8. But we want to figure out what is g of h of negative 5, which means that we have to go to function g. And wherever we see x, right, we're going to put h of negative 5. Now, what we have here, oh, this is supposed to be h of negative 5, not f of negative 5, h of negative 5. So let's change this to, let me change this to h. So it's supposed to be h of negative 5. And so now let's go to function g. And so g, again, wherever we see x, we're going to put h of negative 5. So x is here, so we put h of negative 5. And then we have 4 plus x, but we're not going to put x, we put h of negative 5. Now, what is h of negative 5? Well, h of negative 5 is definitely, as we saw here, negative 8. And so we have 4 plus x, but not x, h of negative 5. But what is h of negative 5? Well, h of negative 5 is negative 8. So it's going to be 4 plus x. No, 4 plus negative 8, because that's what h of negative 5 is. So 4 plus negative 8 and 4 plus negative 8. You know, positive times a negative is a negative. So we have 4 minus 8. And so that means that g of h of a negative 5 is equal to negative 4. And so that's the answer to this question. Next, we have to calculate the value of x for which h of x is equal to g of x. Now, what is h of x? Well, h of x is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 2. And g of x is equal to 4 plus x. And we have to figure out what is the value of x that makes these two equations equal. So we're going to put 4x over 1 because we want to cross multiply. We multiply 2 by 4 plus x. We multiply 1 by 3x minus 1. And so what we have 2 multiplied by 4x plus, we have 2 multiplied by 4 plus x. So we have 2 multiplied by 4 plus x. And we have 1 multiplied by 3x minus 1, which is still 3x minus 1. Now we distribute. We say 2 times 4 and 2 times x. What is 2 times 4? 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times x is 2x. So we have 3x minus 1 is equal to 8 plus 2x. The next thing we do is we take the -1, we send it over the equal sign, and then we take the 2x, and we send it over the equal sign. It was a -1, so when we send it over the equal sign, it becomes a +1 here. This was a positive 2x, so when we send it over the equal sign, it becomes -2x. And so we have 3x minus 2x is equal to 8 plus 1. And we know that 3x minus 2x is 1x, or simply x. And so we have that x is equal to 8 plus 1. And what is 8 plus 1? 8 plus 1 is simply 9. So that means that x is equal to 9. So the value of x for which h of x is equal to g of x is equal to 9. Next, we have to find, in simplified form, expressions for f of g of x. Now, this is a composite function. We have two functions. We have a function within a function. The parent function is f. The baby function is g. So we have to put g inside of f. And so we have f of g of x is equal to, again, we have to take g of x and we have to put it inside f. What does that mean? That means that wherever you see x, we're going to put g of x. And so what we have 3 plus not x, we're going to put g of x. So it's g of x squared. Just like how we have x squared, we put g of x squared. So we have 3 plus g of x squared. Now what is g of x? Well, g of x is equal to 4 plus x. So it's going to be 3 plus 4 plus x squared. And 4 plus x squared is 4 plus x multiplied by 4 plus x. And how do we multiply this? Well, we take 4, right? And we multiply it by 4. That gives us 16. Then we take 4 and we multiply it by x. That gives us 4x. Then we take x, we multiply it by 4. That gives us 4x. Then we take x, we multiply it by x. That gives us x squared. And so we have 3 plus 16 plus 4x plus 4x plus x squared. And so we have to simplify this some more. We know that 4x plus 4x is 8x. We bring down the 3 and the 16 and the x squared. And what else do we know? We know that 3 plus 16 is 19. So we have 19 plus 8x plus x squared. And that's our answer to this question. Next, we have to find what is h inverse of x. Now, h inverse of x, we can find that first. We have to write h of x. We know that h of x is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 2. Then we're going to set h of x equal to y. So we have that y is equal to 3x minus 1 all over 2. Then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to swap x and y. We swap x and y. So we put x here, we put y here. So we have that x is equal to 3y minus 1 all over 2. Next, we have to put x over 1. It's going to be equal to 3y minus 1 all over 2. Next thing we do is we cross multiply. We have 2 times x. What is 2 times x? That's 2x, right? And we have 1 times 3y minus 1. And 1 times 3y minus 1 is 3y minus 1. Next, we take this -1 and we send it over the equal sign. And so when we do that, notice that when we take -1, we send it over the equal sign like this, right? It was -1, but when we send it over the equal sign, it becomes +1. And so what we have that 2x plus 1 is equal to 3y. Again, we have 2x plus 1 is equal to 3y. Next, we're going to divide both sides of this equation by 3. So this cancels with that. So we get that y is equal to 2x. But remember, it's not -1. It's +1. And so we have that 2x plus 1 all over 3 is equal to y. But y is equal to the inverse of h of x. So h of x is equal to 2x plus 1 over 3. And so that means that h inverse of x is equal to 2x plus 1 all over 3. And so that's our answer to this question.